Welcome to round 4 of Elo Legends Rising Empires. Vegeta as John the Arc versus Nightmen as a French. So brothers in arms, as we can say in this matchup, because both are French variants. We see Vegeta in red as usual and Nightman in yellow, north and south. The red guy on Hin Ready, a map which was a part of the ladder, I guess, in season 7 or 8, something like this. Once Japanese came out in the DLC around this time, and it's interesting map because it's just split it into a north and the south side. Meanwhile, we have a sacred site in the middle, blocked access by a wood line on each side of the players, and this is also the main wood line, so pretty interesting stuff like this. You have a tiny wood line next to the TC, also a deer pack right behind the TC with a berry patch around your TC, and a gold and a stone. Also on the sides of the map some marketplaces, and sheep should be pretty even spread out on both sides. I'm quite not sure because it's a long time ago we played this map on ladder, but yeah, that's it. And these matchups are sometimes not that much interesting to watch or to play or whatever. Depends on the player's opinion, right? But these matchups are mostly about who is doing the better night fight traits, because once one player with his fraction as French knights, using French knights, is ahead in the amount of knights or the number of knights, he is overwhelming the other players. So early on could become quite interesting who is taking the better fights or makes the better decision. Also, it might be interesting if someone is adding a mass of spears, because I mean, sure, some would say, why the hell should I add spears as French bear when I have French knights? I mean, sure, that's kind of right, that's kind of true, but I had some matches. I mean, keep in mind we don't play on high Elo level Profi or something like this. We're gonna play on low Elo Legends. So I had some games, I had some interesting experience where my enemy decided to go for, and I didn't scout it just early enough, decided to go instead of Mass Knights like I did, and he went for Mass Spears in his base. Meanwhile, we had some couple fights outside the map contesting the deer of each other and stuff like this. And once he decided to push out, I saw a shit ton of spears. Also, he had less knights, sure, but the knights combined with the spears were overwhelming me so hard that, yeah, even though I had better French knight traits and better fights, I lost the game because of the mass of spears he were saving in his base and waiting me pushing into his base. And once I lost the fight in his base, because of the amount of spears, I had 2 less knights left and died. So might be a play we see here. And honestly, I'd be not surprised if Vegeta is doing something like this. Just because of one reason, he has concentration with JD. Charge is coming out, and this is also interesting thing in French mirrors you take care of. Knights gets bonus damage for 5 seconds after they did a charge. So once the first once one player is charging first into the other player, he might be ahead in damage dealing, especially when you are not pretty good in Knight's Micro, or not. I would say mechanic abuse is a wrong term, but in general, in using game mechanics like charging knights, stuff like this. So also this is a important thing to know. We see both players go for professional scouts. Try to catch or grab all the deer which is exposed on each side. We saw earlier Nightmen decided to kill the deer next to the TC of Vegeta, but because both are going for pure scouts, I think it doesn't matter anymore. At least he will bring the deer under the TC. Anyhow, Nightman, interesting, decided to go for a small wood wall next to the TC. Meanwhile, Vegeta invested into a tower next to the gold. Also, Nightman invested into a tower next to the gold. So Vegeta could also invest into a wood wall here. So the charge is not coming in because of the passing ray the villager are using. There are at least villager exposed, and when once he is not reacting in time, he will lose villagers at all. So wood wall to the front of the base, into the runway, let's say, by for the French Knights by Nightman would be a useful choice. I think it would be a nice invest. So D is nearly collected, 1 is left. Also on the other side, D is nearly collected. We see 4 knights versus 4 knights, 3 knights on each side in queue. Second stable for Nightman and second stable for Vegeta. So just full mirror on both sides. And now we see the first engagement. Charge comes out. First knight died. Second knight close to. Is the Q ability ready? Not yet. I mean, maybe he can pop off the Q. No. He can't. Knight. Can he wait? Scout tries to intercept the charge. But 4 knights against 2 full heal and 1 nearly dead knights. 2 are still waiting. Scout is still there, though he should know. Charge is coming in. Scout dead on side of Vegeta. Good interception here and nice wait by Nightman. Also the charge use into the military or into the units of Vegeta. So -1 scout, but also -1 knights. We have 11 to 10, 7 knights, 4 scouts against 6, close to 10 knights and 4 scouts. Just no. Oh, more knights in queue on side of Nightman. And see, this is a dangerous situation or a difficult situation now. And Nightman is doing a pretty nice thing. He's just getting eco-techs and chivalry, or how is it called? Oh, he already has it. But also rebow. And much more important, but a bit too late. It seems like he's going for a wall here. So once Vegeta is on his side of the... Oh. We see a dive here by Nightman, but it doesn't look like he really knows what to do or where to go. Big charge onto the wood line with some villager. Oh, this is a huge damage Vegeta gets by Nightmen. Also, the scouts catch the good amount of damage done by the TC, but now the knights are back in the base. 8 knights left. One gets caught by JD's Q ability. Now the knights got chased away. Charge is still on the units. They stopped charging. One is still charging, but the rest is not charging anymore. And it seems like Nightman could leave. Oh, Charge is still back by a couple knights, and at least one is coming. No Charge is going through. Wolf is now part of the battle, but doesn't do anything. Knights is still running. He can evade with all of these knights. Maybe there is coming a block, and yes, nice block by Vegeta here. Tried to block some knights, but not enough to get a charge out. Now the knights are passing the scouts as well. And here is the reinforcement waiting for Nightman. And Vegeta has decided to turn around. Boss charging in. Second charge did not come out by Nightman, so Vegeta was a bit ahead in case of damage dealing, I guess, but damage is 10 to 9, 12, 9. Heal comes out. JD is getting his farming experience, and oof, 7 to 7 knights left. Pretty much even damage. No, in case of military damage, Vegeta is ahead with 2.18 destruction value, because in the destruction value of Nightman there are 450 villager included. 250, sorry. So looks like Vegeta did 2 knight kills more than Nightman, but Nightman still has a higher army value on the field, but in Q, once the Q arrives, Vegeta is ahead. And here is the charge coming out. Now you see +3 plus attack. Next knight is dying, so you want to be very, very, very careful in those matchups. Once the charge is coming, you don't want to fight or get the charge through because of the bonus damage. And I mean, it's just +3, but +3 is overall +3 in a knight against a knight battle. Might be not a lot because of the amount of health he has, but if one is dealing 19 damage and the other one is dealing 22 damage, it's quite a difference. Even though there are just scouts left who can tank some damage, because I mean, Vegeta did not care if 1 or 2 is dying. Maybe if the last one is dying, but overall, not that much. Woodwall is pretty much done, and this is a weak point on side of Vegeta. I mean, also he is already 5 villagers behind, and he's not producing as fast as the original French civilization. This is an issue, and now he's grouping up on the backside of his base, but this is a bit... Why is he doing this? That's crazy. I mean, he wants to go for a dive again. Okay, I can understand this. I see the point, but I think you, especially in a French mirror fight like this, that's the point why you need the wood wall, why the wood wall is that big move. He had enough time to move from the quarter of the map way back into the base. The 5-head move, or the important move here, would be now what Nightman liked to do before. Oh, the charge is coming in. Charge on both sides, hitting each other. But the first line of Nightman did not come through with the charge. Heal is coming out, so that's in those fights also pretty big for JD. JDQ is out, 20 knights against 22 knights. I mean, 90 knights, 2 knights waiting there. Each knight now is important. Q is again ready, fired up by JD. JD now level 3. Charge is coming in by the reinforcement. 16 versus 60 knights. He's falling back. Even though he could fight this because he's knight Count is still ahead because of the reinforcement is just coming in. He has a just smaller reinforcement than JD has. Fighting now on the TC. JD gets the next kill. JD is doing range damage now. TC is shooting the knight both the wall. 15 to 60 knights, and I'm quite not sure what Nightman wants to do here. Next Q is coming out. 15 to 40 knights. 11 to 9. It looks like a much better fight for Nightman. 7 to 7. But JD is doing her work, and now the better fight, what looks like a better fight, is now a destruction for Nightman. He should withdraw with his knights under the TC, and you should not do this. Don't go there. Don't do it. You don't want to go there. Not with 25 wills, because the issue what's now? You don't have any control about this area, but you have a good control about this area. Kind of. That's unlucky that his berry patch is spawned on this side and the boar spawned on this side. Meanwhile, the second berry patch and the boar is all together for Vegeta. So it's, and especially in this matchup, I feel like it's a disadvantage for Nightman, because Vegeta just needs to protect for the moment only this side, where his food and his second gold income is. Meanwhile, and here we see the incoming, Nightman has to split his army and to react on both sides. Because his gold and his food is on this side, meanwhile his second food is on this side. And that's the issue he will have here right now, because there's coming in the first raid, the wall is way too late, and the knight spam is serious. 40 knights already again on the field on side of Vegeta. 3 more in queue. Meanwhile, he has 500 to 80 to 800 income, but the food income on the side of Nightman just stopped. Military count is 11 to 18. Meanwhile, there are 2 Giants Raiders. Yes, for sure, but I think, and this case, because of the bad fight here on in next to the TC, even though he did a very great first dive onto the other TC, on Vegeta's TC, now Vegeta is much more ahead in everything, and Nightman might be dead. Builds running out, get caught. Back on the gold, micro issued or whatever movement issued. Too much things together happening. 14 to 20. The night count now is that much serious. No more gold access. Not really any food access. And now the point comes when the concentration is makes a real difference, and a big brings the French main Civ in a big trouble, serious trouble, because of the cheaper build of the units. I mean, 140 food to 100 food, right? 105. So if he produced 5 knights, each stable one, he saved, according to the French guy, 200 food. 250 food. It's nearly half the food income he has right now. Alright, now he has 750, but you get the point, I'm pretty sure. Even though he's not on the ball. Not at all. At least he's adding farms pretty early. Meanwhile, he already ate 1.2k of the boar food. So this is showing up how big JD can be once you reach a critical time in the game. He tries to do a raid on the right side, but they already build up the wood wall, and 23 knights this is nearly soon is this the GG call. Heal comes out, so the French Knights by Vegeta gets a bit more HP back, and 12 to 19 Knights. 9 left here, 9 to 9, 9 to 7, 7 to 6, and yeah. The game decision fight was this one here next to the TC, when Nightmen decided to fight right out, just at the TC range edge without any wills inside the TC. If he decided to fall back a little bit under the TC and garrisoned some villagers into the TC, the fight might be complete different. So this is game number. The next game number 4 of Rising Empires, number 117 on Hidden Valley, where Vegeta won against Nightman in a kind of French mirror. John Dog versus French. Let's see the echo count. Here you see the amount of food Nightman just gathered, but because of the... Do we see how many military units were produced? I guess not, right? I mean, we can imagine or count something like he killed 54. There were something about 9 to 12 left. So Vegeta produced with less food income, way more, the same amount of military like Nightman did. And we just talk about 2.5k food income. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. GG, 2 bars of them.